One day, we're Discord at Fluttershy's cottage for their regular tea party. They hadn't even seen each other for about past 2 weeks, since Fluttershy had been busy with school lately, and she hadn't even asked Discord if something was wrong because he seems to be quiet from time to time. He just said, "No, nothing is wrong. Just sitting here listening to you talking, that's all." And I'm even happy for you, Fluttershy, that you have, you found your special sound pony from, where was it from? Trondheim. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you found your special sound pony, Fluttershy. Most of the others have found someone. Rarity with Spike, I don't know, Applejack with caramel, I don't know. So many of my friends have found someone, have some pony in your lives. Are you saying you feel lonely? She asked. What? Me? Lonely? No, no, no. I have all things I can have. My magic, my friends, and of course, my best friend, Fluttershy. He smiled. I used to feel a bit, you know, sometimes I do feel a bit lonely, but I always have my friends, and yeah, but I do have my friends, and that's more than I can ask for. But deep down in his heart, he did actually want to be with some pony, but since he has been alone for over 1,000 years, he had no idea how to find his special sun pony though. But he didn't act that he was lonely or desperate or any sort of things. He just told Fluttershy that he just wanted to be. Sometimes when he preferred to be alone, which many of his friends do. And after their tea party, he actually went back to his own dimension. There, he just sat on the couch and just had some chocolate milk by himself, just wondering, Fluttershy did have a point. If I do feel lonely, I do wonder myself if I'd ever find some special sun pony. And then suddenly he made a copy of himself, like, "Dear Discord, you might find one. Who knows? Who knows? You might have to take Fluttershy's advice. Let your time pass, let your time core take its own course, and you will might find the right mare for you at some point." But then he snapped his fingers again, and the second Discord disappeared. But even though that Fluttershy did have a point, he wondered if he would ever find. But he didn't pay that much attention to that. So for the next couple of days, Discord appeared at the School of Friendship. Ever since ever since Twilight became the next ruler of the Question, he had been asked by Starlight and Applejack to be as a teacher. But he hadn't asked what kind of teacher, since they had almost like any, since Rainbow were the gym teacher, and Fluttershy for the about kindness and Rarity for generosity, so pretty much any type of the classes that he could perform. But then, he thought maybe about magic. Ever since Twilight left school, so he maybe thought, how about magic? Even though that he wasn't a unicorn, but even with Twilight's suggestions that maybe try to study to teach about unusual types of magic, maybe from unicorn magic and his own magic and perhaps others what he knows about. So Discord made get as a thought and he started training, teaching on that. And it went so well. All the students were so paying much attention to his lessons. And that made him feel proud, feel useful, very useful in his way. Sometimes he preferred to be as a unicorn to tell to show some spells of unicorn magic, but it did actually happen that he had invited Rarity or even Starlight Glimmer, who was the new headmare, for some sort of assistant. which they both didn't mind to help him with some problems. And of course, over time, he started to like his teaching job, and even Fluttershy felt happy for him that he had found something that he could do. But one day, though, one day he told Starlight that he will take a break from teaching for about a few days. And she may ask what we're doing for that short time. He decided that he's going to be seeing an old friend of his. But he didn't say who, but only it was an old friend. So she didn't mind. So he decided to see Celestia. He had even seen her for about 6 months since after she and her sister decided to step down as the rulers and they put Twilight on it. But when Discord arrived to Silver Shores, he saw that Luna were sitting on the bench just looking at the beautiful landscape while painting. And she was surprised to see Discord there. But he asked where he could find Celestia. And she said that she would probably be in the forest nearby to just relax in the winter, but just relaxing. He thanked her and went there. Celestia, though, she was not much as a very surprised to see him, because she knew that sometimes that he would come by from time to time. They spent a few hours talking in the forest about almost anything. Till he told her about his new teaching job at the School of Friendship and some other things that just happened. And she was actually happy to see that he had found something that he could be good at. And of course, then he mentioned that he felt lonely. But Discord, you have always so many friends to be with. Yes, but this is another type of kind of loneliness. And what did that mean? And Discord just didn't say much though. He just looked up at the sky and on the ground. Oh, you mean a special summon pony? And Discord just nodded and said, pretty much. I haven't, since haven't been with any pony for past millennia. So, I don't take me wrong though. Even at the time I was in a stone for this long time, and even before then, was never considered to be weak to some pony. I thought love is one sort of things which is for weaker ponies or weaker beings or creatures like ponies. Yeah, but ever since then I've learned love can be with any creatures. My kind, your kind, griffins, or even dragons. But you don't know, love is something that is not unique only to ponies. But I don't know if there were any pony out there for me to be with. Even though, since Rarity have been with Spike for about a year, almost, I felt quite jealous about them. But who knows, I might maybe never find special some pony at all in my life. But Discord, let's listen. Life finds a way, light and darkness. They are the almost opposite. Love to hate is like the same. But you might find some pony that might like you, or that someone will hate you. That was the same for me and Luna. We wanted to be your friends back at 1,000 years ago. But at some point something went wrong, and you just took your anger on, by taking over the question. And we had to force you to stand under the stone because we tried to find a reason to talk you to drop all that. But we didn't hate you. We wanted to be your friends, but at some point something where it wasn't even worth a try. But after you try to realize, when after Fluttershy help you to realize it, friendship is strong feelings. And after that, we are all both happy to be your friend. even it took all of us 1,000 years to realize it. You're right, Celestia. Even if it would take me another 1,000 years or more, even to find my true love, some even if this is a pony or a dragon or griffin or what was. But as long as I find some pony to be with, I'm just happy to be that. Many of my friends have thought maybe I would want to be end up with you or Fluttershy. Me? You? That would be something, that said Celestia. But Fluttershy though, I'm just happy that she had found some pony as well. But you know, love is something is unique, not only for my cat, but every creatures. And after that, he decided to spend a little bit more time with Celestia before he went back home. But over time, things seems to be going quite well for Discord back in school. But almost a year later, when he was just in town with Big Mac, just walking around talking about their upcoming game night, he noticed a Pegasi who wasn't seen before, that he hadn't seen before. Big Mac, who is that? And Big Mac looked and said, Aqua Blossom. She's new in town. Is she? Yep. Do you know where is she from? I believe Clousdale. She is an old friend of Fluttershy, apparently. Really? Yep. And for some reason though, Discord felt some sort of affection towards Aqua Blossom. But he didn't talk to her personally. No. But from time to time when he was at school, he actually saw her talking with Fluttershy or perhaps even with Rainbow. But he didn't seem to pay much attention to her. First of all, it was his school. But one day, when he had this regular tea party with Fluttershy, he just brought up the topic with Aqua Blossom. He did say that he has seen her from time to time in town and just asked Fluttershy what she knew about her. Like, since apparently they were old friends. Fluttershy mentioned that she's like herself. She loves animals, and she is apparently part of the local weather team. And she works for Sweet Drop's candy store. So, but then she may ask, why did he ask about her? He said, oh, I'm curious since I didn't even get to know her myself, so I just ask. So what would she like to do? Other sort of things. Perhaps find a new friend. And Fluttershy just smiled and said, yeah, I understand that. So after he had left the tea party, he walked around in town. By random chance, he walked into some pony. Oh, sorry about that. And it was actually Aqua Blossom that he ran into. Oh, sorry. And she kind of blushed when he saw her. Uh, uh, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Mr. Discord? Mister? You don't have to call me Mister. You call me in Discord, but that's what my real name. I don't really have a first name, since, yeah, Discord is my only name. So, you're Aqua Blossom, friend of Fluttershy, I heard. Yeah, you heard about that? I'm friend, sure I have. She told me a little bit about yourself, like you like animals, you work different sweet drops candy stores, and some other things. And for some reason though, she asked Discord if he wanted to maybe to have something to eat, like go to a restaurant or something, or just sit down to eat and get to know each other. Discord he did mind that, so they went to this nearby restaurant, and since it was a good day, they sat outside. There they small talked and most of the things they actually brought up a lot of topics, all from his past and his adventures with his friends and sort of things. She was actually quite interested about history, but most of all about his. Like, she was interested in how he can be able to do almost anything with his powers. Like, he can wrap and alter the timeline, alter reality, or even change animals to rocks, fruits to living creatures, anything. And he just smiled and said, "Well, it takes time to training." Then she asked, "What if another creature would have your powers? Would they be able to handle it?" Discord actually thought about that and he said, "Honestly though, no. Since no other pony would even wouldn't have been unable to control my type of powers. Well, except for me from Pinky. She might be the only one who has been would be able to handle my powers to some degree, but otherwise don't think so." And after this meeting, before they separated, Discord then asked if she maybe wanted to maybe go out with him on a date, which surprised her a little bit, but she said yes. And they decided to maybe to have a picnic at the park the next day. So the next day, before they were about to meet, Discord was standing at the fountain when he suddenly runs into Applejack and Applebloom. "Discord, what are you doing here?" Applebloom asked. "Oh, I am waiting for somebody." "Oh, Fluttershy?" "No, not Fluttershy this time." "Oh, is it Rainbow?" "Oh, no, no, no. It is his date, Sweetie Bloom." "Applebloom? His date? Who?" "Aqua Blossom, friend of Fluttershy." "Wait, you on a date?" "That's new." Yeah, kinda nervous?" "Yeah, you're right. This is my first ever date." Discord. My advice to you though, to be yourself and be honest. That is the two words that always help. So remember, be yourself and always honest. Thanks, Applejack. I appreciate that. And then Aqua Blossom walked up and they both decided to go to near a little bit deeper inside the park where they could have the picnic. And for some reason though, even though it has their first date, even especially for Discord to be the first ever he been on, he was so nervous. But after that, they start talking a little bit more about things. He actually started to open up more, and he felt more relaxed. And for some reason, even some after time though, he actually had asked her out a second time. But this time, he maybe asked if she wanted to have a dinner at his place. And she was a little bit curious about his dimension, and he said yes. And she just nodded, and about a week later, they actually had the first dinner in his dimension. And even for Aqua Blossom, this was actually the very first, but also very unique date she has ever been on. She had never experienced this type of dimension, and Discord wondered if she hated the place. So he had asked her a couple of times if she preferred to have the dinner, perhaps in her place. But turns out she loved to be in his own dimension. She thought that was unique, very specially him. That surprised him. Not many ponies actually didn't prefer to be in his dimension. Not to say that they didn't hate it, but they felt awkward or more mostly unusual way they couldn't even handle that. But she preferred to be there. That surprised him the most. But even after their first dinner, they had at his place, he asked her if she liked the dating so far between them, and she said yes. And Aqua Blossom had even told Discord that she had actually fallen in love with him, and he then had asked if she would ever consider to be his girlfriend, even if that they are not the same species. But she said yes, and that she would even like that. So the next couple of days after this, they had even told a few friends about their relationship. Discord was the first to tell Rarity, Applejack, and even Fluttershy. And they were very supportive. But the Doors was one of some ponies that fought not so much against the entire relationship. They were just curious if they would even last any particular longer, since they are not the same species, or if they have some has maybe didn't have the same type of interest. But they were shown much wrong in their beliefs. Discord and Aqua Blossom showed to be very much strong in their relationship. They seem to never have been fighting ever at all. They always had, if there were some argument about something, they always try to figure out a way to stop it or figure out to work it out, which always happened. And even on their third year's anniversary, been dating, they were actually in Discord's dimension for dinner when Discord popped the question if she wanted to marry him, which she said yes. And especially after all of this happened, all their friends were very supportive, but most of all, happy for them both. When Aqua Blossom had told her family about her dating with Discord about 3 years earlier, they were actually very surprised that they had been dating him, but they were supportive. But when they found out that they were engaged, later to get married, that made them both very surprising. And of course, as long as their daughter is happy, she's happy. And they had even invited the families, or at least her family, to be at the wedding. Fluttershy had been asked to be Aqua Blossom's bridesmaids, and Discord had even asked Big Mac to be his best man. And Discord had even asked Spike to be the rainbearer. And they even later on went to Las Pegasus for their honeymoon. But before they even left, Discord and his friends had this party which Pinkie Pie had organized. There, they that were Aqua Blossom's family had welcomed him as part of the family. And even on the honeymoon, though, they had this amazing time, watching a lot of shows and enjoyed the rides, and they had this amazing time there. Even only about 2 years after they'd been married, Aqua Blossom had something to tell Discord. Since she had actually moved to his dimension, but also had made her immortal by his own magic. Since he is immortal, he made her immortal. But she told him something big that made him flew up in the air, exploded like fireworks, and screaming, "I'm going to be a dad!" And he found out they're going to have twin daughters, which made him even happier. And 2 years after their twins was born, they had even another child, a son. That made him even happier. But during Brothers preferred when they had the twins, Discord and their friends had been asking themselves, will they have his powers? And if so, when will they appear? As a baby or as a younger or older? And since Discord could not even say sure, but since he told them his kind had the powers at any time, even at birth or even sometime later on. But since be that he would sing, "Oh boy," said the rainbow, "now we will have a lot of more chaos in town or perhaps anything." But Discord had mentioned them to them. He will train The twins and later his future children, like his son, took control of his powers, at least their powers. And that actually worked. But since the twins were a bit older, they even helped their younger brother to control the powers. So, no worries about that much. And that's how this court, Aqua Blossom, found a true love and got a big family. The end.